So good morning.
Good
morning.
morning.
Well, the title of my talk is Learning from the Lessons of Fear. Fear is very easy to fall into, isn't it?
Yes.
We can fall into worry about our jobs, our income, our bills, our health, and the well-being of loved ones and friends. I will admit, following the election results, I fell into fear for the future of our country, and I know I was not alone in this. There is tremendous uncertainty about the future, but fear is a trap. It's like quicksand, and it can pull you down and keep you bound up for a long time if you let it. The last time I spoke about the way of the peaceful warrior, the spiritual warrior. So let's take a look at what a spiritual warrior would do in the face of uncertainty and fear. Remember the saying, let go, let God? The spiritual warrior knows the wisdom of surrendering in order to let go and let God. Let God take control. Let God show us a solution. Breathing in, I surrender. Breathing out, I let go. I let God. I invite you to participate in that. Breathing in, I surrender. Breathing out, I let go. I let God. Breathing in, I surrender. Breathing out, I let go. I let God. Sometimes it's necessary for us to step into the unknown. In order to grow, to progress, we must be willing at times to step into the unknown. We are so often attached to anything but our true nature. We are attached to things working out our way. We're attached to having others around us do things our way. We want other people to think our way. When we are attached to outcomes being our way, we get stuck. We want to control, and we need to learn to loosen control to allow the Holy Spirit to come through us for increased creativity. If we let go and we let God, you know what we get? Effortless ease and joy. Now, isn't that a concept? I came across a quote from Muji, a sage that some of us really love this week, and it seems so apropos. I stuck it in on Post-its. Sometimes, he says, grace throws you and your world into the washing machine, full spin, so that the fearful and controlling tendency is compelled to offer itself to the totality, to the will and dance of the cosmos. Isn't that the truth? Don't we sometimes feel like we've been thrown into the washing machine full spin? It can be confusing. A Course in Miracles says in lesson 133, I will not value the valueless, for what is valuable belongs to me. The valuable already belongs to me. Surrendering to the flow of the universe is the spiritual way. This does not mean giving up or being passive, by the way. It means knowing when it is wise to surrender in order to learn, to grow, and to move on. Sometimes you regroup, form a new idea or a new plan, find a creative way. But you'll never find it if you stubbornly hold on to what is not working. The more quickly I let go, I enter the flow of the universe. I find solutions that work. Relationships with others function more easily. The ultimate ease is when we totally surrender and rest in God. Heaven is reached with empty hands and open minds, which come with nothing to find everything. That's from A Course in Miracles, lesson 133. Here's an affirmation. I enjoy allowing the universe to handle the details. I am free. My life will work better. I enjoy allowing the universe to handle the details. For those of us who seek to control and control and control and control, that is such a freeing statement. I enjoy allowing the universe to handle the details. A Course in Miracles talks a lot about fear because it says that we basically have two modes, love and fear. And if we aren't vigilant about our thoughts, if we let our thoughts run rampant, we often stray into fear. Some of the lessons in A Course in Miracles that are very helpful in dealing with fear are, I could see peace instead of this. Lesson 34. There is nothing to fear. Lesson 48. I am at home. Fear is the stranger here. Lesson 160. I place the future in the hands of God. Lesson 194. Lesson 194 is so profound to me that I'm going to share some passages from it. I found that it helps whenever I'm feeling anxiety to let go. So it says, accept today's idea and you have passed all anxiety, all pits of hell, all blackness of depression, thoughts of sin, and devastation brought about by guilt. Accept today's idea and you have released the world from all imprisonment by loosening the heavy chains that lock the door to freedom on it. You are saved, and your salvation thus becomes the gift you give the world because you have received. Excuse me. In no one instant, oh, thank you. In no one instant is depression felt, or pain experienced, or loss perceived. In no one instant can sorrow be set upon a throne and worshipped faithfully. In no one instant can one even die. And so each instant given unto God in passing, with the next one given him already, is the time of your release from sadness, pain, and even death itself. God holds your future as he holds your past and present. They are one to him, and so they should be one to you. Yet in this world, the temporal progression still seems real. And so you are not asked to understand the lack of sequence really found in time. You are but asked to let the future go and place it in God's hands. And you will see by your experience that you have laid the past and present in his hands as well. Because the past will punish you no more, and future dread will now be meaningless. Release the future, for the time of past is gone, when what is present, freed from its bequest of grief and misery, of pain and loss, becomes the instant in which the time escapes the bondage of illusions, where it runs its pitiless, inevitable course. Then is each instant, which was slave to time, transformed into a holy instant, when the light that was kept hidden in God's Son is free to bless the world. Now is he free, and all his glory shines upon a world made free with him to share his holiness. What worry can beset the one who gives his future to the loving hands of God? What can he suffer? What can cause him pain or bring experience of loss to him? What can he fear? And what can he regard except with love? For he who has escaped all fear of future pain has found his way to present peace, and certainty of care the world can never threaten. He is sure that his perception may be faulty, but will never lack correction. He is free to choose again when he has been deceived, to change his mind when he has made mistakes. Place then your future in the hands of God, for thus you call the memory of him to come again, replacing all your thoughts of sin and evil with the truth of love. Think you the world would fail to gain thereby, and every living creature not respond with healed perception? Who trusts himself to God has also placed the world within the hands to which he himself appealed for comfort and security. He lays aside the sick illusions of the world along with his, and offers peace to both. Now are we saved indeed, for in God's hands we rest untroubled, sure that only good can come to us. If we forget, will we be gently reassured. If we accept an unforgiving thought, it will soon be replaced by love's reflection. And if we are tempted to attack, we will appeal to him who guards our rest to make the choice for us that leaves temptation far behind. No longer is the world our enemy, for we have chosen that we be its friends. So once again, going back to that affirmation, I enjoy allowing the universe to handle the details. I am free. Knowing that we live in a stressful world, at least I experience it that way, how about you? How do we care for ourselves? How do we care for ourselves in a world that we find stressful? Thomas More wrote a wonderful book on care of the soul, and he comments, faith is a gift of the Spirit that allows the soul to remain attached to its own unfolding. When the faith is soulful, it is always planted in the soul of wonder and questioning. It isn't a defensive and anxious holding on to certain aspects of belief, because doubt, as its shadow, can be brought into a faith that is fully mature. That's pretty profound right there. We can turn our doubts into part of our faith. Doubt, as its shadow, can be brought into a faith that is fully mature. Are you able to have a faith that can contain uncertainty? A real trust of faith would be to decide whether to trust someone knowing that betrayal is inevitable, because life and personality are never without shadow. Is there anyone among us who has not had a betrayal in their life that caused us to go into a tailspin when we wondered, what the heck is going on? Knowing that betrayal is inevitable, because life and personality are never without shadow. The vulnerability that faith demands could then be matched by an equal trust in oneself, the feeling that one can survive the pain of betrayal. In soul faith, there are always at least two figures, the believer and the disbeliever. Questioning thoughts, drifting away temporarily from commitments, constant change in one's understanding of one's faith. To the intellect, these may appear to be weaknesses, but to the soul, they are necessary and the creative shadow which actually strengthens faith by filling it out and ridding it of its perfectionism. Both the angel of belief and the devil of doubt play a constructive role in a full-rounded faith. The third part of the Trinity is life in the flesh lived with deep trust. If we don't allow some uncertainty into our faith as we practice it, we fall victim to neurotic excesses. We may feel superior or entitled to berate those who have betrayed us. Or we may become cynical about the possibility of trust, not owning unfaithfulness. We find it split off from ourselves and embodied in others. These other people, they can't be trusted. This person I put my faith in is despicable, completely untrustworthy. Living only on the positive side of faith, the other side creates a nagging, paranoid suspicion of others and the changes of life that it brings. So, we have released fear and anxiety, at least for the moment. We have considered how our shadow side of doubt can actually assist us in faith. Finally, let us consider the wisdom of a poem from 1927 called Desiderata. Some of you know it. It's well beloved. Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself to others, you may become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons in yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But do not let this blind you to what beauty and what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself, especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture the strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here, and whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations. In the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all of its shams, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy. Thank you.